It's our old friends Philly crew. This one's actually supplied by YouTube, this is. Tell you what. Muted trumpet, Hammond organ. It's proper jazz, that is, isn't it? Look at the colour of those chords, listen to them. Lovely. Alright. It's just got a bit of everything in there. It doesn't matter what you play, does it? I mean, I can't say there's much for the drummer. Or the bass, really. But the skill in that, really, is holding that together, isn't it? That, you know, that steady rhythm, where everybody can do what they need to do and not trying to overcrowd it, I suppose. Anyway, I've got a couple of things I want to talk about today. There are three things, actually. One is one's attitude to trading. I've written this down. This is unusual for me. I've actually made a plan. I've made a plan. You can't believe it, can you? Well, it's not much of a plan. I've got three things written down. Well, I've got 2 times because I'm going to show you something. I'm laughing at myself at actually writing a plan. And I've got trading attitude. Now, there's something I'm going to play to you. And then we're going to talk about trading attitude. And then we're going to talk about the indicator that's on the screen, and I've actually got an EA version of that which I want to talk about because I made some horrendous money with that EA last week, which is completely mad. And this is also relating to another thing which I'll talk about. And then of course we've got the Cleva-Levels, and I haven't spoken about these for a bit, and I've been sort of looking at them, and I've had some comments on the channel about the Cleva-Levels indicator, which I also want to bring into this discussion. So this could be my longest video yet. If you're in a rush, probably not worth hanging about. You might as well go now because it's not going to work for you. If you're not in a rush, actually, you can always watch it in 3 sections. But if you're not in a rush, why don't you just grab a cup of tea, coffee, a bourbon, a glass of scotch, or just get yourself a mineral water, really, and a fidget spinner, because we could be here a while. All right, so first things first then, trading attitude. I want to put my notes, see them. Listen to this, paper. Real notes. Yep, it doesn't usually happen, I know. This is weird and be busking it. Come on, let's have a bit of clock in here as well. We like the clock. What we like about the clock is this, that we can make it big and we can make it small. Just with the same, Photoshop keys they are, actually. So there you go. It's Sunday, June the 16th, 2019. I'm gonna get this other video up. So right, let's talk about trading attitude. Now, there's something on here I want to play to you, which will start now. Let me just get rid of the Philly. Sorry, Philly crew, you got to go. I'll catch you later. Right, here goes. So if I just bring the PC volume up now. Here we go. Listen to what this guy says. Hurry. Oh, I might be early. Now.
If you listen to the ego will put you again and again on a neurotic path.
Neurotic path.
The path of being somebody.
So, what I said there is the listening to your ego, which some people say, I haven't got an ego, and it'll put you on a erotic path. And I think he means erotic path rather than a spiritual one. Okay, this bloke isn't talking about trading. That's obvious, isn't it? So, what I'm saying about this here is, let me just pull the volume down so I can pause this, because we're going to get to... Oh, I can leave it in the background, actually. We've got 3 minutes, but we'll move it forward in a minute. Okay, so what he's saying is, if you listen to your ego, all right, what he's probably saying is, you're going the wrong way. And with trading, I guess there's a fair bit of ego, and try and avoid it is the message, really. That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to try and apply that. And if you think there's no ego, think about when you're not right. Think about people that trade without a stop and just will not come out. Do you know more accounts are blown up by people who will not close a losing position than anything? It's not because they haven't put a stop on, a big stop. It's because I don't know why that's doing that. I'll pause that for a bit. It's because they won't close the losing position. What they will do is add to that losing position, thinking it's going to turn around. Now, I don't know if you ever look at the monthly charts, but if you look how far this thing can move before it pulls back, you're going to have one hell of a bank account to feed that account to support that trade for potentially years. If you look back on the monthly charts and you go back 5 years, and you'll see a price that hasn't been revisited since. So, my message is, don't have an ego, have a stop loss. I just made that up. Oh, sorry, I'm off again. Oh, God. Do you know what? That was stupid. I'm actually choking it. Oh, I'm going to have a drink of tea. Don't have an ego, have a stop loss. Actually, that's really good, isn't it? I might call that, I might title the video that. Don't have an ego, have a stop loss. Oh, brilliant. But no, seriously, trading with an ego, it's got to be bad news, hasn't it? You think, oh, I've got to be right. I'm going to chase the market. I'm going to double up on this position. I'm going to martingale this. I'm going to load the wagon on this because it's got to come back in a minute because your ego is telling you. And it's wrong. Don't do it. Right, so I'll listen to it. Let's find the other part of this message. Don't have an ego, have a stop loss. I think it's at 13:02. So let us move forward, gentlemen. Forward march, everybody. There you go. I've got 5 seconds. So I can get the fading. I haven't got a meter while I'm doing this, actually, apart from the one on my mixer. I haven't got one in the. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Okay, so about now.
But man is very egoistic. He cannot feel at ease just to be himself. He wants some great mission to be attached to his ego.
There you go.
I don't see any mission.
Oh, I can't. It's very low. The vocal side of that is there. But what he's saying is, man's on a great mission to basically, like, you got something to prove. So, addition to that, then, is me saying, and I'm saying this to myself as well, not just to whoever's listening, listeners, watchers, viewers, whatever. I'm saying that, you know, don't have an ego, have a stop loss. Yeah, that's what I'm having. So don't trade with an ego. Trade with a method, I guess. Oh my God, I'm just making it up now, really bad. All right, that's enough of that. You got the idea. So listen, don't trade with an ego. Have a stop loss. Don't have an ego. Have a stop loss. All right, let's get back into Philly. Yeah, all right. Well, we have a brief interlude, and we're going to talk about what's on my. Let's get my piece of paper from the producer of this show. Oh, that's me as well. All right, so it's yeah. So we're going to talk about this indicator. It's got a name, and it's called Pod. What do you think of that? Yeah. All right, let's turn that music down now. We don't want that to distract from my dulcet tones and valuable information that I'm trying to share out with you guys. Yeah. It's all about you. That's right. Yeah, don't look behind you. I'm talking to you. That's right. You. Yep. You're nodding your head. You know it's you. All right. So, so I got this indicator. I've had this indicator forever, and it's called Pod. I don't know why it's called Pod. And some people say, oh, it's just the parabolic SAR. Well, it isn't. Okay, so get that off your chest now. It's not the parabolic SAR. In fact, if I could find the parabolic SAR, the PSAR as it's known, I could put it on and you will see how different it is. Oh God, does anybody know where the parabolic SAR is? Shout out now. Oh, it's too late, isn't it? This is a recording. Oh, I'm funny today, aren't I? Oh, no, crikey. Let's have a look. Where have I got it? Is it in one of those? There it is. So there's the parabolic SAR. So if I set this to... See, I can't even do that. See, I can't even set it. It doesn't measure periods. And while it's similar, you can see it's not it. It is similar, I'll give you that. But it isn't that. So let's get rid of this. I don't need that. I don't need that, do I? Oh, I've got no zoning on there. Right. So, right. Now I've got that out of the way. It's not the parabolic saw. Here goes then. So, this indicator, I got this idea. Right, in the night, in the Asian session, it's no good. As it happened, it was on this occasion. But it's not, and it was on this occasion really. And I suppose maybe I need to rethink it. But you see what happens? Normally, it's a load of chop in the Asian session. So what I was looking at was the London session. So in between these red bits is the London session, and this is our old friend, the 50 moving average. I think I can't remember if it's a simple or an EMA. So let's have a look. All right, so it's an EMA 50 exponential. And that should be applied to the close. So my theory was that I could use this as a filter for the trades, but as you can see, it's not really worth it. But what this what it can do is give you a rough idea of a bias. So I could use it as a bias. But what I want to do is just walk back with you now. You know, we walk through these things and we say, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, so let me just show you the settings on this. So I'm using this, so it's got like it's a signal period of 5, so that's how many periods it's calculating it on, and then it allows for 2 bars into the crossover before it signals, and it's a really simple indicator, obviously. So if I was to use this on, and Fridays was an extremely good example because you would have finished early on Friday. So as the market opens, this thing is signaling. Now, if I'm filtering on the above, below 50, I wouldn't have took this trade, which is why I'm thinking to myself, you know what, that would be foolish, wouldn't it? But then I wouldn't have took this one based on the same thing, but I would have took this one. So I think what I'm looking at then, because I did a couple of trades with this last week and made money. So what I'm looking at is just doing the, kind of just using like a price action thing. I mean, this is a new high for a while, I think, is it? Let's have a look. It's a new high. It's the high of an Asian session. It's had a couple of goes up here in the 15 minute. It's not going above it. So the momentum's gone. So this big candle's a big, powerful engulfing candle. Now, you could have gone bought on the pullback, couldn't you? You could have put a limit in on the 50% of this candle there. Or you could just go, right, I'm going in and my stop's going above this candle. Or the idea is that you put your stop at this red dots and arrow. It's just the arrow. When it first comes on, you can just see the arrow. The dots are created later, and they give you sort of foresight into what's happening. You know, if it's rejecting off these dots, it's probably going to continue a little bit more as well. So that's that. That's that one day. So if you were to do first thing in the morning that day, yeah, that would have worked out. And Friday afternoon, nobody really should be trading because it just doesn't work very well. London goes to the pub, I think, and that's about it. Now this one, I wasn't up for this one. I wouldn't have been. That's actually UK time 06:30 candle. However, this is where you get the chance to enter, because this is telling you this is your bias for the time, maybe. And this is a good strong candle with a very short wick. So is this. So you've got 2 chances to enter there. Or if you ended on a pullback and really minimise your risk. And then, boom, we're up again. I mean, that's a decent chunk of money, that is. Because this is a CFD, so you'd have to buy 1. And somebody said to me, actually, not many people have said it, but somebody says, oh, you're looking at indices. And I went, yeah, there's a reason behind that. And here's the reason. Stand by. Reason incoming. Here's the reason. So I was actually watching another guy, and he was talking about this, and he said that with indices, it's the same market. With Forex, it's not necessarily the same market, because brokers have sort of different market times, if you know what I mean. They'll have like different times for their candles. So what that means is that people are not necessarily looking at the same candle patterns, which are price action. So I guess that what's probably happening is it's just causing even more chaos in the markets. And the only thing you can really pay attention to is not the candles, but the price, which is, I guess, something I've been doing for a while anyway. But if you get, so kind of like you buy the bounces or, sell the rejection, anything with a couple of big wicks, you might be interested in, but not on a 15-minute chart. This is the only thing I'm looking at in the 15-minute chart. I've kind of moved up time frames a bit since going to work, which I don't do anymore, by the way. I went to work for somebody, and I'll stop that now. Didn't quite work out, in as much as I couldn't get any free time, so I couldn't continue my pursuit of trading career. So I'm taking one for the team here, lads. Yeah, I got you covered. Anyway, back to this. Goodness me, yeah. Anyway, so we bought that first thing in the morning. Yeah, made a ton of cash and then give up. Now this one I was a bit early for, but we got in here, and that's it for the day. Ignore the rest of the day. No matter what, you've got your money in there. You took your risk there, and your rewards up here. So you got 2 for 1 there. There's a 2 for 1 there. Now this is where it gets a little bit more difficult. For me, this is where the 50 average comes in. So we're quite a distance away from the average, and we're definitely trying to push a crossover there. But here, we're a bit away. So you'd expect that, oh, well, we're going to make it back up there. But here, we're almost there. And this is quite a serious down move. If anything, I'd be selling this. Now, if I'd have sold it here, I wouldn't have got stopped out, because my stop should be at this arrow. So I wouldn't have got stopped out until it came back. But this candle, in theory, should have told you to get out. At that point, don't get back in just because this said so. You've still got a downward bias, haven't you, today? And really speaking, I'm thinking that, this is a rejection. You couldn't buy that based on price action. And it's too late there. The move's happened there. Forget it. So you've got to kind of like use the indicator, or could use the indicator. I'm not saying it's a great or a bad idea, because indicators are not usually very good. But this actually sort of just gives you something to go at. That sort of, I need a security blanket. So we've got another one here. We're buying this. The last signal was a buy. We've got a nice bit of rejection there. That is your entry. Bear in mind this is about 8:30 in the morning. That's the entry. Candle. Do we come out here? Probably. Call it a day. In spite of that, you've got to call that a day there. Unless you really want to just, for some reason you think that's going to work. The fact that it's already been here once, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just having a look at this. But I've got more to talk about on this as well. So I've got another one here. So this one's, it's there, isn't it? So the first one, for me, is the one. And that's just bloody unfortunate, isn't it? That must be some news announcement or something. Would you actually enter on that? I don't think it'd be a great idea normally, because it's moving too far away. It's a strong candle though. I'd say it would be a no trade for me, and I'd just skip it for the day. But here we are again. We're in this kind of uptrend, up move here, and we're at it again. We've made some money. You see, that's what I'm on about, the ego as well. If you're not greedy, as in I've got to get it all in one day, or I've got to get it all in, I've got to win every day, I've got to win a ton of money every day, a ton of pips, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Look, you could hold on to that one all day, because there's no reason to come out of that. There's not enough strength anywhere to kick you out of that. You could have made a mega bucks that day and come out at 4:30. First candle. So you've got to look left, haven't you? See, if you're thinking about that, and look what happened. See this support here? This was respected. Now that is a possible entry, because you've respected that. See, you've got to actually understand. You can't just trade this indicator blind, because it would just rip your money out of your account. But you could use it and go, no, not that one, and not this one. And then what it'll do is it'll hold you in the trade, you see. I mean, until it crosses back down, you could hold into that. And you've got another buy signal there. I'll be honest with you, I'd have probably took that. Because of the size of the candle, it's broke this high. But I might have waited for another bounce off the dots, like that. Or, most likely, I wouldn't have traded at all. But I always look at these gaps here and think, well, that's got to close. And until that's closed, we're not going anywhere. Nearly always happens, look. All right. No, we're not going to be buying this, are we? Because in spite of this candle, because we are in a clear. Oh no, actually, if you look at it, let's just work this out. So that's what you see, and we're in a downtrend, aren't we? Short term, we can't be looking long term with this 15-minute chart. So you get the idea. All right, listen, that's as far back as we go. I'm bored now of this. I'm bored of talking about this for you. But what I've done with this as well is right. This is actually stage 2A, because stage 2 was that indicator. And now stage 2A is the robot version of it. So I had an EA done with this ages ago, and I gave it to my brother, and he managed to get it to lose a ton of money. And I thought, yeah, I was expecting that. So come up with some bizarre settings for it. So what I did was, after talking to a guy called Doji-san, who's a friend of mine over in the States, I think he's down in Texas. Before, him and I tried to work on a crap robot that made no money and reversing it. And I did the same with this after bumping into him on Discord again. And he was working on the very same theory, where what he was doing was he got a robot that was running, and then he was mirroring the signals across a tool that shares the signals, but you can reverse it when it gets to the other end. So what I did was I grabbed the code and reversed the code instead in the EA, so that when it buys, it sells. So my brother, I gave him the forward version, and he managed to get it to lose a ton of money. And he said, if that was going backwards, I said, oh yeah, I did the reversal for it. Here you go. So I sent him the reversal, and he came up with these bizarre settings. This thing should not make a penny. But at £1 a trip, out of the weeks, on the days it's worked, it's made £100 a day. So far, we're just buying one contract. So this day, in spite of all these arrows and things, this made £100 that day. Well, actually, it was 91. It was up to 98, but I switched it off after it lost this ticket here. It's the risk reward on it is bad. It's risking 2 for 1. It was risking 1 for 1 and 1 for 2, but they didn't pay as well. Risking 2 for 1 seems to be working. However, this is a robot, and they have no scruples at all. They just take your money. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to play with that a bit more, and then if it works out, who knows? I might share it out so we can all get a ton of cash. But actually, how would I do that? No, I couldn't give it away, could I? Because then that would just have every Tom, Dick and Harry trading the exact same system. I'd have to restrict it to 10 people, maybe. Yeah. 10 people. 10 good people. 10 good people that have done something good for somebody else, and they can prove it. You know, I don't know what. You know, maybe they've saved an old lady from falling, or, you know, give a kid with cancer some help or something. Help the parents, send a kid with cancer on holiday. I don't know. Whatever. Something good. I could give it to somebody who's done something good, couldn't I? Ooh. That'd be a really good way. That would be a really good thing to do, wouldn't it? You know. Better than telling people that not to have an ego and to have a stop loss. Anyway, tea's gone cold there. Right, so last thing then, because we talked about that robot. More to come on that in the future. Right, now, I had some comments on YouTube from Ayrton Senna. I did say that I am being ridiculous. It's actually Ayrton C. I can't say his name, Pancure, I guess, something like that. Ayrton C. Pancure. But anyway, he was talking about the green levels, and he kind of liked the look of the Cleva-Levels. And it's funny that he should mention the green levels, because I turned off a lot of the other levels a long time ago, and I've just got the quarterly and yearly levels, areas of interest, and lo and behold, look, it's just bouncing off a quarter. Although it is from May, it's not like it's that new. But what he also said because I've had about 3 comments off him now, and he's appeared in the Discord. And what he was on about was obviously you could just do this with a string. You could have a catalogue of orders, all sorts on there. You could have, like not a catalogue of orders, an array, a grid of orders with the scripts. I've got loads of scripts, and they'll put like 10 to 12 tickets in and all sorts. But they can be a bit risky, So if you got like every 10 pips, a grid of orders. Say you got every 10 pips, you've got, a 1K order that's got a 10 or 20 pip stop on it. By the time you get through 3 of those, you've got quite a bit of ground to cover to make your money up. And I have tried this before, where I've had like an array of orders. This is not my technique. This is a Simpleton technique. The array of orders. He's the order king, to be honest. And the scripts came about because I did it for him, and I think he still plays with them now, quite a lot actually. I've seen him turn 10 grand into 100 grand in a very short space of time using them as well. Quite funny, really. Yeah, and I'm the one saying, "Press that button, buddy," and he goes, "No can do." I'm holding that position. But anyway, Ayrton talks about a market profile. I think this is what he means. What this market profile indicator does is this one points to. This is kind of like what they call the value area, and obviously this is where most of the action is because of the depth of the profile. And down here is where all the buying looks like it's taking place, which would coincide beautifully with this level, and it's bought it enough to push it up 10 pips. This is the Australian dollar. We'll put some other pairs on in a minute. But we've got an even bigger level down here. This one is from 2016. It's the low of 2016. So it's probably going to retest that, and you probably get a reasonable reaction from that. But this is worth a scalp. How far away is that? 30, 40 pips away. So you've got two choices, haven't you? Let's face it, we're in a bit of a downtrend. But are we at an extreme? Let's have a look on the daily. Yeah, you can see it's all making sense now, isn't it? So we've got this massive wick here. Now, for ages I've been saying to people on Discord, this wick must be filled. I don't know why, but with these wicks, they always seem to need filling, if you know what I mean. They have to be... It's like they have to be satisfied, because there's obviously some buyers down here for that to reject like that. So it's coming down for more buyers, I guess. So somewhere in this box, I guess we'll probably see quite a bit of action. That's the daily chart, by the way. I've chopped this down a bit too much, this screen, so you're probably not seeing the time frames I am. So you can trade this all sorts of ways. I think he's a short-term trader, and he's talking about short-term only. So, like on the 5-minute or something with a bit of market profile as well. You see plenty of buying going on here, look, as well. Yeah, Ayrton, I think I know what you mean. I'm not quite sure how you'd apply it into a strategy. Let's have a look at some other pairs. Let's put in the 15-minute. And then we can see this like the extreme area this is, isn't it? You're outside of this area. And I guess what they say is it will come back to fair value, which is, this is the value area, so somewhere in this box it's probably going to end up. There's quite a bit of selling went on there, wasn't there? Early in the morning. You can see that, it's all red. I think that's what it means. Green is buy and red is sell, I'm guessing. And when it goes brown, it's obviously buying and selling, so you'll be in this kind of sideways area, wouldn't you? Alright, okay, it's not something I do much with, the market profile. I've played with it in the past, but never really. I just don't think I understand the whole auction theory thing. Maybe I will one day. I know Simpleton does, he gets it, and he's sent me numerous videos on it in the past, and just not quite, it's just not lodging in your brain, right? Let's have a look at some more pairs anyway. So I've got the euro dollar. More buying. This is consolidating and buying by the looks at the same time. This is 15-minute. Yeah, we're on 15-minute. So, yeah, looks like that's going to make a break through here. If it did come through here, I'd be waiting for the pullback, and I'll be buying the bounce. There'll be some kind of pullback. It might not come back right to here. The market is not that accurate. It's not that precise. We all know that. It could come back up to, well, we don't know, do we? But anyway, and if it does, let's go on the daily. Where are we heading? See this wick? These wicks. I tell you what, you see a big wick like that in an extreme area. Look, it's already had a go at being filled once. Is it going to happen again? Who knows? I mean, what we got there? Got a classic W there, haven't we? If you look at that W pattern there. I wish I knew how to trade a W properly. I could be good, couldn't I? Alright, here we go. Pound dollar. What's happening there then? We are now on 2017 low. And actually, look at that. It's like, this is more buy traffic here by the looks. So would you buy that? I don't know. Let's have a look on the daily. Yeah, see, it's got this little bit of area left, haven't we? This wick. See this wick? Look. These wicks. I tell you what. These wicks. There's something in these wicks, isn't there? Now, my theory is we're coming down here at some point. It might only be a flash, but we're coming down here because of this. Somewhere, might not be right to it, but it's got to be coming, you know, kind of this area maybe. This kind of area maybe. Who knows? Well, I mean, not that it's not going to jump about a low before it gets there, but that's just my theory. If I'm right, then I'm right. And you know what? If I'm wrong, I'm not going to let my ego bother me. I'm not going to have an ego. I'm going to have a stop loss. Shadow. Right, here we go. Dollar CAD. Oh, yes. We're still buying this up here. That looks like it's a buy, doesn't it? The bulls look like they were trying to sell this down. Then, sorry, the bears. And then the bulls went, nah. But do you reckon we're going to revisit this area? This slightly dense area. Probably. All the trading was there though, wasn't it? They lost that battle, didn't they? There's a hell of a lot of people trapped there by the looks. Oh, I can't really read that. I'm only guessing. Like I say, I don't really do market profile, so I'm just doing this for Ayrton because he wanted to know about it. He didn't want to know about it. He just bounced the idea. Sorry, that was a bit loud, wasn't it? He just bounced the idea around, so I'm bouncing the idea around too, thinking, yeah, the guy has a point. Where's the indicators gone? Hang on a minute. It's just, yeah, there's not many levels around there, is there? But this is all new. Look at that. So just look at this. Oh, what do you know? Look where we are. Look where we are. This is a bit of a pivot zone, isn't it? Top bottom area. Bounced off it once. I suspect it's going to poke back through into this area. Quite possibly retest this a bit as well. But not a pair I trade that much. I should pay a bit more attention. That's a 4-hour chart, that is, by the way. So on the 15, really, there's not a level in sight apart from the average daily range. There's nothing. As you can see, we're a long way from anywhere. So you just have to not worry about that pair for a while. I'm just doing the big 6 here. More buying. Somebody fancies that's going up some more. Do you know what they think that is, don't you? They think that's a way. The odd 1. And then 2. 3. And they must think this is a pullback. To go for the old, I think this is an Elliott wave, isn't it, when it goes 5. 1, 2, A, B, C, D, E. Or it could be what they call a 1, 2, 3 reversal. See what I mean? Market goes both ways. And sometimes I think a lot of the stuff that it's just not worth paying attention to, is it? You know, the stuff that's said, you've just got to... Do you know what I always say now? I'm saying that you should go in the trade and make sure that your risk is managed right. And if you've got a 1 to 3 risk reward, you haven't got to be right even half the time. It's like 40% or 38%, I can't remember. If you were just, you know, but at the same time, you've got to do that without making you stop that tight that it keeps whipping you out the trades, because that's just pointless, isn't it? Where was I now? God, it's me. Oh, dollar Swiss. Bit of a slow pair, really. Let's just move time frame so we can get the levels drawn. Alright, so here we go. We'll just poke through a yearly level. Okay, it poked through it and then carried on through it. I wonder what that means. Don't know, but we've got the market profile on there. Perhaps see if it's green. Does that mean more buying? I must look into this. See, yeah, say it goes like brown where it's buy and sell. Green, red, selling, which I suppose it was to a point. So you've got plenty of selling going on. And then the bulls won, battle zone, bulls won, and then we know what's happening at this point, don't we? The bulls are just in control, or were. Right now, though, let's keep pushing it up. So, well, we can see what's happening there. We're in a zone, aren't we? Anyway, look, that's probably enough about that. The other thing he said was he was on about. What did he say? Oh, that's it. He was on about because I'm a bit reluctant to give this one away because there's quite a lot of thought and work gone into it, and I think one person's got it. But he was saying I should do a week's trial and then charge a fee. I suppose that's feasible. That's feasible. I have got account restrictions on it and expiries on it and all sorts, so it could be done. Yeah, the double-edged sword. Yeah, thank you for that, Ayrton. Appreciate those comments, mate. They're very nice. Thank you. All right, okay, let's go. Let's go back. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I want to bang some links in for the videos. And I've got a little bit of a Discord going where you can hook up. I'm not in there all the while. I'm in there when I can. So if it says, if you look and the status is offline, I'm offline. I actually close Discord when I'm not there or can't talk to avoid people thinking, is he online? Is he hiding? So if you can't see me online, it's because I'm not online. The Discord is closed. But however, you can send me messages on there and I'll be back and I will write the message replies. And then, you know, when I'm in there, I get a chance, I'll drop some chart info and stuff and just bounce ideas around, really. And I've got a couple of great guys in there that are there's some good traders in there that know what's going on. You know, that I'm a bit of a simple trader, to be honest, but I can see that there are some traders in my room that are actually really good. We can all learn from them. I won't name any names. I'm guessing they know who they are, though. Alright, okay. I was going to close the Discord down, but I'm just going to keep it going a little bit longer. The interaction's a bit sporadic in there, but it's one of those niche kind of rooms, you know, where people come and go and there's no obligations. Nice to get some interaction. If somebody posts a chart, I always like them to say what it is and why they're posting it, rather than just here's a picture of a chart. It's, you know, why are you entering it? Why, or what do you want to talk about on there? It's no good just posting a picture. I've got one guy who posts a picture and very little else. Unusual way of getting interactive. Yes. Anyway, do you remember the message of this video? Oh, I sound like the Equalizer. Don't have an ego. Don't get an ego. Get a stop loss. All right, let's go. Do you know what? I think we're just going to change this music a bit. I think we need to have a bit of our old friend. Do you remember? Oh yeah. Right, let's get you up tempo, ready for when the market's open. Not that I'll be looking. I won't be looking till the morning, I don't think. It's Father's Day today. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, Father's Day. And I've been bought a game because I've got a PS4. And as an ex-rally driver, to some extent, successful, I've got trophies, you know. I did all right. I did all right as a navigator and I did all right as a driver in my old Mark II Escort. And so I've got the program, it's called Dirt Rally 2. And what's funny about it is a friend of mine does the co-driving voice on it. So I sent him a picture this morning. He said, look what I've got for Father's Day. The irony, he said the co-driver was rubbish. Of course, he's not. He's far from it. And actually, when I was I had a little go of it earlier, only a little short 15-minute thing, bash. And I had a little go, and it's quite weird hearing his voice coming out my PlayStation, you can imagine. but really good, and I can see why he made it as far as he did in rallying. Very good, very very nice man, very very nice. I enjoy it. I enjoy his company. All right, okay, listen, it's time to go. I've got to be the longest video I've ever done. Sorry about that. If you're still here, wake up, it's time to go. If you're not still here, where are you? Come back. Show's just about to end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, let's get some Ben sound sexy. Okay, take it away, boys. I wasn't even counting the bars then. I did that purely by feel in the middle there. How about that? Hey, that's a seasoned musician. Nah, it's just lucky. See you later. Not sure how much later. I'll try not to be so long next time. I'll try and make the video shorter. And I'll try not to leave such a big gap. I promise. Love you guys. Love you all. I'd just like to thank my mother and my father for creating me. Remember guys, don't have an ego. Have a stop loss. Oh God. See ya. I'm going. Bye-bye. Oh. Actually, I said I was going. Do you know what? I forgot to tell you. Of course I've got to go. And do you know why I've got to go? If you're still here. Are you still here? Okay, being as you are. Here's why I've got to go. Because I'm going to go... You know when you have cars wrapped? Well, I've got to go and pick a wrap. Because I'll tell you what. I cannot stand the colour of that McLaren I bought. Oh, it's like a mauve colour. Oh. Who'd have a mauve McLaren? I've got to get it wrapped. Yeah, you know, such is life. Decisions are sometimes hard. So long. Adios. Hasta luego. Hasta próxima. Au revoir, monsieur. Auf Wiedersehen. See you later, mate. Cheerio. Yeah, you've been a star. Remember, don't have an ego. Have yourself a stop loss. Bye. Cheerio. See ya. If you're still here, see ya.